James Gunn's Superman is comic book cinema distilled into its purest form. Exploding with color, comedy, and unabashed sci-fi fantasy goofiness, it's a film that dares audiences to find their inner child and embrace its at times unhinged whimsy, all along maintaining the poignant morality that sits at the heart of who the character is. This, of course, all elevated by impeccable casting. Relative newcomer David Corenswet steps comfortably into his red boots with a voice, stature, and kind but masculine face that exudes the iconography of the Silver Age, selling the character's innocence and well-meaning naivete without compromising his unrelenting and some might say foolhardy mission to protect life at all costs. However, this Superman is not the godly savior of films past, but rather the humble public servant, the Big Blue Boy Scout, Gunn painting him as the Rocky Balboa of superheroes by dialing back his powers and beefing up his resilience. And to paraphrase Rocky himself, makes it less about how hard he can hit and more about how hard he can get hit and still keep fighting. This is a Superman who shows up to your kid's birthday party, who saves a squirrel on the street, and only wishes the best, even for his adversaries. A Superman who unflinchingly believes in appealing to the better angels of our nature. Likewise, Rachel Brosnahan captures Lois Lane's nose for corruption and journalistic ruthlessness, while simultaneously lighting up the screen with a level of sizzling romantic chemistry rarely found in the genre. That being said, I do feel that one or two more scenes devoted to their relationship would have made the bond even stronger, but I also have the unfair advantage of knowing that there is likely plenty of room for such elements to be explored in future adventures. Despite its many subplots and wild cast of characters, this is ultimately a Lex Luthor vs. Superman story, and Nicholas Hoult plays the power-hungry billionaire as a deeply jealous older sibling who doesn't like how much his parents are fussing over his newborn kin. Although the petulant energy of his portrayal is not in line with the brawny stoicism of my favorite incarnations of Lex, he nonetheless succeeds in making you hate the character, and it is a testament to Gunn's writing that we completely understand his phobic perspective, and yet still side with the flying alien. The film is also consistently funny, and could accurately be described as a sci-fi action comedy, most of which comes from its stellar supporting cast. In terms of laughs, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner delivers a standout performance as the arrogant Green Lantern, and steals almost every scene he's in. Overall, however, Eddie Gathegi's Mr. Terrific emerges as the film's surprise MVP, and takes center stage in an action scene that may be among the best in comic book movie history. Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho also does the most with what screen time he is given, and plays the character with a certain vulnerability that leaves the door open for further development down the road. Unfortunately, Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl is only given a couple of moments to shine, and is very much relegated to the background, at least for now. Like with Lois, I wish Gunn had spent a little more time with the Daily Planet crew as a whole, most of whom we get only the briefest of snapshots, reducing them to caricatures. Of these supporting players, however, I see the most potential in Skylar Gizondo's Jimmy Olsen, who could easily land in any number of the sillier storylines the character befalls in the comics. Concerning its visual effects, the CGI, while not always on the level of, say, James Cameron's Avatar, is certainly much more polished than your average superhero outing, and delivers soaring breakneck action sequences that seem ripped right from the page. Gunn and cinematographer Henry Bram at times putting the camera on the back of Superman himself as he swoops wildly through the air with wondrous flair, while at the same time never losing a sense of location and narrative purpose. I imagine almost any still could be a ready-to-go comic book panel. Undoubtedly, though, the film's crown jewel of effects is the superdog Krypto, who will likely draw the same doe-eyed affection as the Mandalorian's baby Grogu, and is inarguably a highlight of the film. Deployed at very precise moments for comic relief, the Snow White mutt punctuates scenes with just enough silly cuteness to endear himself to the viewer without getting in the way of the film's earnest protagonist and story stakes. Structurally, the film moves like an animated feature, with only a handful of key standstill moments for plot progression and emotional beats. Outside of an unconventional, or perhaps just unexpected, first 15 minutes, where the pacing momentarily feels jarringly abrupt, the film swiftly finds its rhythm, and what unfolds is nothing short of an exhilarating roller coaster ride of supersized proportions. While its wackier elements pull no punches and may certainly overwhelm some casual viewers, the film never forgets to take time for its humor and its heart, both of which shape the foundation on which the interdimensional set pieces play out. Of course, a Superman movie would be downright dull without its rousing music, and here, John Murphy and David Fleming offer up a blend of the old and the new, cleverly employing John Williams' beloved theme from the 1978 original, while mostly supporting the action and emotional moments with their own contributions, resulting in a sound that pays homage to the past while still providing the film with its own distinctive musical identity. Although Gunn is known for his efficient use of pop music, this is very much a score-heavy film, although the use of a particular song in its final moments definitely suits the character and left me with a wide smile. At its core, Gunn's Superman stands as a testament to the character's humanity, wrapped in the packaging of a Saturday morning cartoon and told with the gusto of a kid playing with action figures. From the robot-inhabited Fortress of Solitude to the Red Trunks, the film is simultaneously a love letter to the Man of Steel and the comic book genre itself. And watching Corenswet, spit-curled and confident, winding through the air, lasers blasting from his eyes, it's difficult for my own inner child to not want to follow him up, and away.